very warm welcome to a brand new episode of Real Estate. What an exciting week it has been. The new government has presented its first mega budget. But what did the realty sector get out of this budget? Well, we'll decode that for you. But first up, let's take a quick look at what we've lined up in the show today. We decide for the budget for realty, meet your developer Naveen Raheja, locations that stand to gain the most from the budget. So what did the mega budget do for this mega sector? Well, apparently not very much. There was some mention of rural housing and of course there's impetus for infrastructure, but there was nothing that was directly given to the real estate sector. We'll decode the budget for you and tell you what it means for you.
The year's biggest financial announcement. The whole nation watched with bated breath as the finance minister presented the union budget. Like all sectors, realty was banking heavily on the budget. But was real estate's real agenda met? With hardly any mention of direct sobs for housing, realty majors made no effort to hide their disappointment.
I guess the finance minister forgot affordable housing. I guess he forgot the fact that it is the government's responsibility to provide homes to its citizens. Instead, other industries have got a one-year extension on a tax-free status. That money, for example, could have been plowed into affordable housing.
Nothing in the budget for affordable housing. It's a sector which is grossly undersupplied in India. Finally, the developers of the country are taking a lot of interest in it. But a truly affordable housing, which is in the region of 10 to 25 lakhs across the country, depending on the city, cannot happen unless there is a structured government initiative to do that.
Not just developers, even homeowners and investors were left asking for more. One of them being Sana Rashid from Noida. This software consultant had been looking at inking a second home deal post-budget. But Sana now feels the finance minister did little to boost the sentiment of buyers like her.
With the prices going down, the real estate prices really plunging, and we were expecting that, okay, we'll go for another flat after this and kind of invest in that. And but there was no exemption, tax exemption in this budget for us, especially for people opting for home loans especially. So we were kind of disappointed and that option didn't work out for us.
Apart from housing, even the commercial space seems unhappy with the lack of attention it got from the finance minister. Both retail and office sectors have seen some sluggish quarters and were counting on relief in the form of FDI that didn't come through.
The office sector, which is kind of lagging right now, is going to struggle a little bit because you haven't seen too much of the undoing of service tax on the rentals, and we were fairly positive that that would happen.
Realty stakeholders have reason to feel let down, yet there's more to the budget than meets the eye. Infrastructure's got a boost in the form of increased allocation, and experts feel that better road networks and connectivity will be a boon for realty in distant areas.
Clearly, there has to be an expansion and development of satellite cities with linkages, with transport systems, with an infrastructure which is created. The emphasis that has been provided to the infrastructure sector will have a large part in the development of these satellite townships, which is really where people will move to because the cities will have only so much of space.
Looking at the cross-fertilization kind of model, there's actually a lot of real estate that actually comes up in infrastructure projects in and around. So that's really going to have a direct benefit for urban real estate as well.
That's not all. Here's a lowdown on how real estate is likely to gain from budget measures. Increased allocation for India Infrastructure Finance Company or IIFCL will bring forward many pending projects. More funds to the National Highways Authority of India or NHAI will mean improved and accelerated connectivity. This will raise the value of your property along these routes and also open up new areas for growth. Road and rail connectivity in your city will now get a fresh lease with a major boost to JNNURM funding. Impetus to rural housing is likely to improve realty in far-flung areas and in turn decongest cities. There's some good news for developers of budget homes too, as prefabricated concrete slabs will now come cheaper.
No doubt one thing is true, that there has been a slight improvement in sentiment. What our business has been saying, a lot of corporates who are sitting on fence and were not taking decisions, we have seen them to start taking decisions. So it's just a beginning.
And this beginning in improvement is visible at building sites where work is gaining new pace. The onus is now on policymakers to keep this momentum going. And we hope this impetus will come in the form of direct SOPs for realty sooner than the next budget.
No benefits for affordable homes, no tax exemptions. And you have many calling this budget conservative, even placid. But go beneath the surface and you'll find there are more benefits for realty in this budget than what's apparent. The finance minister has set an all-inclusive target of 9% for growth. And that can only be good news for real estate. Because if this target is met, then growth in real estate is sure to follow.